Yeah, look, Owen Price, one of the members of Price Cattle Company here down in central Queensland, southern end of central Queensland, Arcadia Valley. We run a breeding, growing and fattening enterprise down here in CQ. About a bit over 7,000 head of cattle, I guess, branding about 2,500 calves a year. Look, we purchased our first Optiweigh 2 years ago. I guess from there, the only problem we really had with the Optiweigh was we worked out pretty quickly we needed another one because we were moving it from one paddock to another. So yeah, I guess 2 years in the last 3 years, we've bought 3, and I guess this one is our 3rd. Being the only fella in Queensland with a maroon Optiweigh, I guess we're pretty fortunate. So no, we're quite happy about that, and we're pretty keen to see how it goes in comparison with the blue Optiweighs to see whether the cattle actually prefer maroon to blue. We no longer go into the paddock and look and guess the weight of our cattle. We now have good, solid, hard data with what our cattle weigh, what weight gain they have. You know, even now we used to run cattle through the yard to work out what they were. Now we don't. We sell cattle in the paddock without putting them through the yard. We know what they weigh before they come in the yard. We know the weight ranges that we draft on when they come to the yard, and that makes our business really easy. That's really streamlined our business. This Optiweigh is going up to Rockhampton. We're going to use it in a group of dry cattle up there, and we're just going to monitor the weight gain over the winter in that country up there and just see how that bit of floodplain country we've got actually goes for backgrounding cattle, which will be new and exciting for us since we haven't done it before. Oh look, well, I check my emails in the morning. I get a notification every day which tells me how the cattle are done for the previous day, so I guess I race in there. I monitor the 5-day rolling average weight gain for the cattle. That'll give me some pretty good information as to whether the cattle need shifting in the paddocks, for the feed quality. Get a really good idea on a day-to-day basis of how they're going, how they're performing. It gives me good information on when I can market cattle, and I've worked out that with this Optiweigh I can no longer get so many cattle going over the grid. If we're selling feeder cattle, we tend not to. We do have less cattle hitting out going over the grid. We can hold off selling if we know the weight gain of the cattle. We can hold off selling so we can get more weight in the cattle if we need more weight. So we're making better decisions, and we're making decisions based on data, not on their best guess. Yeah, so the only trick we had with the Optiweigh, we had to get our head around shrinkage on our cattle from the Optiweigh, from the weight we were getting in the paddock to the weight that was coming over the scales in our place. So for our business and for our information, our data that we crunched, we were losing 4% on our steers coming from the paddock into the cattle yards. And from there, once we established that, we were getting really accurate weights from what we were getting in the paddock to what we were expecting when we got into the yard. So it was our expectations that had to change with the Optiweigh. Yep. And that took a little while to get our head around, but once we got our head around that, it really gave us the opportunity to get really good, tight, even lines of cattle in the weight specification that we wanted. There's so many things you can use this unit for. It gives us information and use that information however you want to, but for us it's really important in our business to actually have good information and good data and not just guessing, because we spent my whole life guessing cattle's weights. Yep. And it's not an exact science. But with this, I can bring up, or I know my weights of my cattle. Look, and just a few examples, we've had the weights of our cattle. I've known the weights of our steers. We'll get a kick in the price grid, and I'll have the confidence to book in cattle because I know the weights of the cattle. I don't have to run and I don't have to go and put them through the yard and weigh them. I've got that information so I can make really good, quick decisions. And that's invaluable for your business. And what we also really love about the Optiweigh is, I guess it's the after-sales service that comes with this product and the fact that it's Australian made. So great innovation for Australia, great innovation for the Australian beef industry.